Hey, Sandra. You get finished up at the gynecologist?
Yeah, I'm just on my way out now, actually.
How'd it go?
I'm pregnant. They told me I'm 3 months along.
Oh my God, really? Yes. We did it, baby. I can't believe it. This is the best day of my life. What an incredible moment this is. I could do a song and dance. I'm so happy. Yippee!
Me too, sweetie. Isn't it amazing? It doesn't feel real yet, but I'm over the moon. It's like this weird, surreal mix of overwhelming joy and not feeling like I'm in the real world anymore.
No kidding, babe. I know exactly what you mean. I wonder if it's going to be a boy or a girl. I can't wait to find out. You don't know the gender yet, right? Is it still too early for that?
Yeah, of course it is. We won't be able to find out for a little while yet. If I had to guess, I'd say next month at the earliest, but more likely it'll be the month after.
Oh, I see. Well, I guess we'll just have to hold tight then.
Do you really want to know? Do you have a preference either way? I know a lot of guys want their first to be a boy.
Nope, I'll be happy either way. I just think knowing the gender would make it a lot easier to imagine what life's going to be like after it's born.
You do have a point.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. I have to tell my parents the good news. I could do it over the phone, but I think news like this deserves an in-person visit. Should I head over now?
Would you mind waiting just a tiny bit longer? If you wouldn't mind, I'd like to wait until I'm a little further into the stable period. I'm sure everything will be fine, but God forbid we went around telling everyone and then the worst happened. I've been told it's best not to get your hopes up too much this early on.
Oh, I see. That makes sense. Okay, how about we pay my folks a visit once we know the gender? That way we can reveal everything in one go.
Would that mean I'd have to go to your parents' house?
I know visiting my folks might not be right at the top of your list of favorite things to do, but I think it'd make a good impression if we both went over to deliver the news in person. My mom and dad are pretty old-fashioned, so I'm set to take over my dad's company one day, and what they really wanted was for us to move in with them to help look after them in their old age.
I'm sorry that didn't end up panning out.
Forget it. I already told you it's fine. It wasn't your fault anyway. You probably wouldn't have been so opposed to the idea if they weren't so horrible and disrespectful to you. I totally get it.
I knew they hated me ever since we first met. I can't believe they still flat out ignore me despite us having been married for over a year now.
I'm really sorry about my parents, babe. They're impossible. But I want you to know you haven't done a single thing to deserve any of it. And it's not your fault. I hope you don't let it get to you. It's not your fault you were raised by a single mom. It really bugs me how they constantly bring it up, as if you should feel bad about who happened to give birth to you. And the only reason you didn't end up going to university was because your mom encouraged you to find a job instead, right? I think the way they poke fun at you for not having a degree is totally unfair. To be honest with you, I think they're a pair of oddballs.
Do you think maybe I should go to university as a mature learner? You do hear about people getting their degrees in their 30s, sometimes even older. Maybe that way your parents might back off, and who knows, they might even start being nice to me.
Oh, don't be silly, babe. You don't have to force yourself to go to university just to satisfy my parents. Besides, they think degrees are worthless unless they're from elite universities.
I see. I wonder if there's anything I can do. I offered to lend a helping hand with the family business, but your dad said he'd rather I didn't.
I'm serious, Sandra. I don't want you to worry a bit about any of the crap my parents say. Just forget about them. Obviously, it'd be a little awkward if you didn't come along to family events and special occasions, what with me being lined up as a successor to the business and all. But beyond that, there's no need for you to have anything to do with them. Let's keep your interactions to a bare minimum, okay?
You're right, I like the sound of that. But still, they introduced me to everyone as Little Miss Helper at the last Thanksgiving dinner. I'm not sure I'm going to be much use to your image as the next company president when they treat me like this.
I'm really sorry about that, babe. I'll have a word with them both about it, okay? Oh yeah, I almost forgot. What was going on with you and my big brother at Thanksgiving? You never usually talk to him.
It's not like we were making idle small talk or anything. He just asked me to help him with the dinner arrangements.
Even still, I think it'd be best if you didn't have anything to do with my brother.
Really? Why is that?
Remember when I told you before about him showing up out of the blue to move back in with our parents?
Yeah.
Apparently he got wrapped up in some shady business with some very bad people. Mom told me he didn't have a cent to his name, and when he turned up on their doorstep at 11 p.m. that night, they took him in and are keeping a roof over his head for the time being because he has nowhere else to go. But my brother's always been a lazy good-for-nothing. I mean, he dropped out of college for crying out loud. Who even does that? I'd be worried about you getting wrapped up in some kind of trouble if you two started getting along.
I doubt we'll start getting along just because I helped him set the table on Thanksgiving. That's literally the most we've ever spoken. I barely know anything about him. And besides, we hardly ever see each other anyway. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy that at least one member of your family doesn't flat out ignore me.
Okay, I guess there's nothing to worry about then. Just make sure you don't go anywhere near him when we go to my folks' place in the future. Anyway, I'm about to head back to work.
Good luck, sweetie. I hope you're ready for tonight's supper. It's gonna be a tad more luxurious than what we usually have. Get excited!
Woo-hoo! You're the best, babe. I can't wait. Drive safe on the way home from the gynecologist. You're not the only one you're looking out for anymore.
George, are you there? Will you be coming home tonight?
Oh, I'm so sorry, babe. Some stuff went down at the office and I got kept way later than I intended. Can you believe Graham from accounting forgot to log one of the biggest orders we've ever had? The entire team's running around the office like headless chickens trying to clean up the mess he made. It'd be comical if it wasn't such a freaking disaster. Anyway, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it home for a little while yet.
Wow, I see. That does sound pretty chaotic. Have you found time to eat amongst the madness?
Yeah, I stopped over at my folks' place on my break for a bite to eat. Oh, damn. You didn't make supper, did you?
Yes. You didn't message me, so I assumed you'd be home on time like normal. But it's fine. Don't worry about it. You can always heat it up in the morning.
I'm really sorry, babe. How are you feeling today?
I'm fine. Thanks for asking. The morning sickness seems to have stopped now.
That's great news, but still, you're bound to have sudden bouts of sickness and nausea when you're pregnant. I want you to rest if you feel like you need to. Don't go overdoing it on housework or anything, okay, babe?
Don't worry, I won't. Oh yeah, did your mom and dad say anything about the baby? They didn't seem even remotely interested when we announced the pregnancy to them yesterday.
No kidding. They were just as rude and blunt with you as ever. But my dad's been going around the office today telling all his employees he's going to be a grandpa. Looks like the bluntness was just a front. He's over the moon.
I see.
He's had the biggest, cheesiest grin on his face all day. I think he's even happier because it's going to be a boy.
Huh? Why?
Because that means he can inherit my dad's company one day.
Does that mean that's what you want for our son too?
Yeah, obviously. I'd feel terrible if my family ever lost the company.
I see. Don't get me wrong, if our son grows up and decides he wants to inherit the company one day, I'll be 100% behind him. But equally, if he decided he wanted to do something else, maybe go into a different industry or do his own thing, following his own passions, I'd be there to support him in that too.
Sandra, you should have known what you were getting yourself into when you married me. We have to produce a successor for the family business. Me and you aren't the only ones in this relationship, and it's not our decision to make.
But I want to prioritize our son and what he wants over the aspirations of anyone else.
It's fine. You don't have to get it. I've always found the sight of you funny.
What's that supposed to mean?
Forget it. As long as I understand, that's all that matters, right?
Why do I feel like you're trying to imply something?
All you need to worry about is producing a healthy son for me, Sandra. It's paramount that he grows up to be as robust and vigorous as humanly possible. So stop worrying about inconsequential gobbledygook and focus on looking after yourself. If you ever find yourself struggling to keep on top of the housework, I'm happy for us to hire a maid. I'm way too busy to help out around the house, so it might actually make sense.
Are things set to get busier for you now or something?
Yeah, but don't sweat it. Things should calm down in time for the birth.
I see.
Oh, hang on a sec. I have a message for you.
Huh?
My mom just suggested you go and stay with her and my dad instead of resting up at your mom's place after the birth.
What? Your mom said that? Really?
I knew it. News of their first grandson has made them completely change their tune. They must be really pleased.
If they really are, that's amazing news.
Something tells me things between you guys are gonna change for the better real soon. I can feel it already. I bet they're both gonna start being super nice to you. Onwards and upwards, right? So what's it gonna be, babe? Go on, move into my folks' place for a little while after our son's born, won't you? She's extended you an olive branch by offering to take you in like this. Your mom still works full-time, right? I doubt she'll be able to spare much time to look after you if you stay with her.
Well, it's true, she does. But I'd be lying if I said the idea didn't make me a little nervous. I can't just forget about how they've been with me this whole time. I think I'd feel awkward.
There's nothing to feel awkward about, babe. Don't sweat it. Your recovery and our son will be their #1 priority.
Can I have some time to think on it a little?
Well, I guess you don't have to give me an answer straight away. But to be perfectly honest with you, babe, I'd have a lot more peace of mind if we moved in with them. You know how busy I get with work. I'd feel super reassured knowing they're around to look after you. We'll be able to see each other on my lunch breaks that way, too. What with their house being so close to my workplace, isn't that the ideal scenario in every way possible?
You really think so? Okay, sweetie, I'll think about it.
All right. Try to be positive and keep an open mind. If on the off chance you do move in with them and they start treating me like crap like before, I'll completely lose my shit with them. So if that's what you're worried about, there's no need. I have your back, Sandra. If you decide it's not for you and you want out, you can leave whenever you like.
Got it. Thank you, George. That makes me feel a whole lot better. By the way, what time will you be home tonight?
It'll probably be after midnight the way things are going.
Right, it's pretty late already.
I think it might make more sense to stay at my folks' place tonight. The trains are always full of weirdos at this time. Besides, I'm up first thing tomorrow morning too.
I see.
I'm sorry, babe. I hate leaving you on your own like this.
You'll get more sleep that way, though. I think it's for the best. Good luck with work. Hopefully they let you go sooner rather than later. Don't overdo it, sweetie.
You're right. I'd be of no use to anyone if I collapse from exhaustion. You too, babe. That little boy in your belly is our #1 priority right now. Don't hesitate to message me if you need anything. Good evening. Is this Sandra's number? It's George's brother, Adam.
Huh? Adam? Where did you get my number?
I'm sorry to message you out of the blue like this. I found it by looking through George's phone.
I see. So, what did you want?
I'm just going to come straight out with it. If you can, you need to divorce my brother. If you can't, don't ever come anywhere near this house again.
Huh? Adam, what the heck are you talking about? Divorce? Stay away from the house? Did I do something to upset you?
If you don't want your little boy to get stolen away from you, then I suggest you do as I say. Do not trust my family.
What's that supposed to mean? I am so confused.
You have been warned. You're not to discuss what I'm telling you now with anyone. Obviously, that also includes my brother.
Just slow down a sec. I have no idea what you're talking about. Wait a sec. Seriously? You as well? Are you saying all this stuff because you don't approve of me marrying your brother either? Ugh. I thought you were different to your parents. I can't go along with what you're saying, Adam. George is my husband. Surely you can't be serious. Could you at least explain why you're saying these things?
You're planning on moving in with us for your recovery after your son's birth, right?
Yes. George works a lot and I'd struggle a lot raising a little boy on my own. It was your mom's idea.
My family are planning on stealing your baby when you move in with them.
Steal? My baby? That's crazy talk. Why on earth would they do something like that? Me and George are his parents, so naturally we'll have legal custody. Even if they did steal him, we could just go to the police.
You're tragically mistaken. If they do get their grubby mitts on the boy, you may as well think of it as being the last time you see him.
Adam, please, what you're saying is absolutely insane. What exactly am I supposed to say to this? What, should I just blindly believe you? I need to discuss this with George.
No, you mustn't mention a word of this to my brother. He's fully on board with my parents' twisted plan.
No way, he'd never agree to that. George was over the moon when I announced the pregnancy. I've never seen him so happy. He loves me.
Do you really believe that? It's time to wake up and smell the coffee, Sandra. He's been coming home late ever since you announced you were pregnant, hasn't he?
That's because he's busy with work.
Not to lie. His company has a no overtime policy.
What? Then where has he been? He said he had overtime today too.
It's time you learned the truth about my brother. About who he really is. And about what he and my family are planning together. You should prepare yourself, Sandra. This is going to come as a shock. Are you ready to know the truth?
I'm ready.
Very well. I have plenty of proof, so I'm going to start from the beginning. I doubt he'll be going home to you today, so time won't be an issue. All right, let's start with this photo. Sandra, where are you? I couldn't find you at home and your mom says she hasn't heard from you. Why would you leave the house without saying anything like this? Come home, please. I'm so worried you wouldn't believe.
Are you really worried about me?
Sandra. Oh, thank God you replied. So where are you? Go on, babe, tell me. I'll come straight out to get you in the car.
I'm not telling you anything. Don't even bother asking me why. You should know better than anyone else what's going on here.
What? Seriously? It's because I don't have a clue that you got me so worried. Before long, it'll be time for you to bring our little boy into the world. What the heck have gotten into you?
Do you know when I left the house?
Wasn't it today?
No. I left a week ago.
But you were messaging me normally until yesterday.
That was only to keep you from noticing. You pretend you're so worried about me, but you only come home to see me once a week.
That's not my fault. What am I supposed to do? I told you how crazy and hectic things have been for me at the office lately.
I know you're lying. You've been at the person you actually care about's house, haven't you? The only reason you married me is so I'd give you a son to inherit the family business. You were planning on divorcing me and taking custody the moment he was born.
Wait, what? I have no idea what you're talking about, babe. That's crazy talk. Come on, surely you know I wouldn't do that to you. What happened to make you act like this, Sandra?
If it's a divorce you want, great, because I do too. I have mountains of evidence of you going in and out of your lover's house when you were supposed to be doing overtime. Not to mention all the recordings of you and your parents discussing your wicked scheme to steal custody of my son. I'll never let you have him.
Wait, have you been talking to my brother? Come to think of it, he moved out of my parents' place a few days ago. God damn it, that asshole. He's been filling your head with lies, hasn't he?
All your brother did was tell me the truth, and I'm thankful to him. He's the only member of your family who isn't a despicable piece of shit.
Holy heck, Sandra, don't call me that. I'm your husband. No. You can't believe a word he says. He's a despicable one, not me. Trust me, believing him will be the worst mistake of your life.
So tell me, George, how am I supposed to believe anything you say? I know for a fact you've been cheating on me. I also know your girlfriend's incapable of having children. I also know that your parents refused to approve the marriage because she wouldn't be able to provide you with a son. They told you that they'd only agree to the marriage if you found someone else to give birth to a successor for the family business. That's why you married me, isn't it?
No.
Why do you insist on lying? I told you, George, I have evidence. I'll never believe another word that comes out of your mouth.
Sandra, please. Please come home.
That won't be happening.
Do you want money? If it's money you want, I can pay. Name your price, just give me the boy.
Don't screw me around, asshole. I am not selling my baby. I'll be raising him on my own. I'll never let any of you within 100 miles of him.
Sandra, please, you have to believe me. I never wanted to do any of this. My mom and dad, they wouldn't let me marry my girlfriend if I didn't give them a grandson.
Why couldn't you have just adopted like any normal human being would have in this situation instead of hatching a twisted, child-snatching plot built on a web of lies?
They said he had to be blood related. I told you my parents are old-fashioned.
You really are a grade A idiot. You and your family must be the biggest morons ever to exist on the face of the earth. Do you think being worried about not having children of your own gives you the right to do what you did?
What choice did I have? I can't let my dad's company change hands. It stays within the family at all costs.
Even still, that doesn't give you the right to use me like some tool to be manipulated into giving you a son. Is that all my life is to you? Is that all our son's life is to you? You're sick. If you really must do what you tried doing to me, at least be honest about it from the get-go and find someone willing to go along with it for money.
Sandra, please, I'm begging you. If you don't give me the boy, my parents are going to force me to marry the daughter of one of my clients. She's so ugly. Babe, we're talking about a level of ugliness that's so extreme, so off the charts, that she'd have a better chance finding a needle in a haystack than finding a guy to walk her down the aisle with her. And don't even get me started on her personality. That's a whole other can of worms. My parents said I wouldn't be allowed to divorce her. They're threatening to make my girlfriend break up with me too.
I don't care. None of this is my problem. Besides, what's the issue here? That sounds like the perfect fate for the kind of scumbag who'd trick someone into marrying him to act as his personal baby-making machine.
Sandra, please. I'm begging you here. My life will be over if I don't give my parents the boy. Listen, babe, how does it sound? I bet you want your mom to live an easy life, right? She worked so hard raising you all on her own. It's only fair she gets rewarded. One word from me and my dad will give her so much money that she'd never have to work another day in her life. She could live in absolute luxury, ease, and comfort until the end of her days.
Ugh, you invoke such a profound feeling of disgust in me that it's almost so hard to put it into words. We're talking about a feeling that goes beyond mere dislike or irritation. It's more like a visceral reaction, a gut-wrenching sensation that makes me want to physically recoil and distance myself from you as much as possible. I mean, please, did you seriously think I was suddenly going to give up my son as soon as you started dangling bags of cash in front of my eyes?
But money is important.
Sure it is. But I'll get plenty of money from the compensation you're going to owe me for the affair. Besides, I still have my savings left from back when I was single. I'm perfectly capable of raising my son on my own. What's more, I'm perfectly capable of repaying the debt of gratitude I owe my mom without a single cent of your parents' money. How about you stop treating me and my mom like a pair of helpless, needy peasants just because I grew up without a dad?
I'm begging you, Sandra, I mean it. My life is over if you don't help me out here, please. I'll raise our son with love and care. He'll never want or need for anything.
How could you possibly be capable of looking after our son properly when you're nothing but a spineless yes man who kowtows to your parents' demands, no matter how absurd they are? I'm not going to let you sacrifice our son on the altar of your bizarre obsession with appeasing your deranged parents' every whim. I get that they're foisting all sorts of ridiculous demands on you. But that has absolutely nothing to do with me or my son. He will not be the successor to your dad's company, no matter what. I'm going to give my child a bright future where he can make his own decisions. With that, I swiftly divorced my husband and received a hefty sum in compensation. Apparently, just like he feared, George's parents forced him to marry his client's daughter because he failed in his task of procuring a successor for the family business. His dad, as promised, also drove over to his son's girlfriend, the true apple of his eye's house, and told her everything. Needless to say, she was disgusted beyond words and broke up with him before the day was up. To my surprise, a few months later, I saw a piece on the news about how George's dad's business had been ordered to pay a massive fine after being found guilty of tax fraud. Unable to find a lender to bail them out, they went bankrupt. With my ex-in-laws from hell no longer able to afford to have George around, he moved in with his new wife's family, and I hear that nowadays he helps them run their family business. I dodged a bullet when I divorced him after our short spell of marriage, but it looks like he has no way out this time. George's parents, now being broke, are now almost completely financially dependent on the financial contributions of his new wife's parents. Which means their entire livelihood now hinges on brown-nosing them to keep that gravy train chugging along. And for better or worse, they'll most likely remain married forever. I heard that George's new wife isn't particularly interested in him, but is desperate to have kids and enjoys having him around to help with the family business. Which means that now he has essentially been reduced to an errand boy and baby-making machine. What a sweet irony. Life has a funny way of working itself out, doesn't it? That said, I don't feel even an ounce of sympathy for him, and I'll never forgive him for as long as I live for what he did to me. I love he lives a life of eternal regret for lying to and deceiving me in an attempt to steal my son. Losing the love of his life and being forced to endure a life of marriage to someone he finds repulsive is only the beginning of what he actually deserves. While my ex-husband and his parents' lives descend into chaos, I gave birth to a beautiful, healthy baby boy. Between my savings and the whopping payout I got awarded in court for George's affair, I'm financially comfortable right now, so I intend on holding off on finding a job for a little while so I can focus on spending time with my son. George's brother Adam also very kindly sent me a generous celebration gift to congratulate me on the birth. I was so astonished when I saw how much he'd given me that I tried to decline and offered to send it back to him. But he insisted I keep it and wouldn't take a no for an answer. So I decided to put it into a savings account for my son when he gets older. To be honest, I thought Adam was a little blunt when we first met, but in the end, he turned out to be the only decent, kind human being in his whole family. He told me that the celebratory payout he sent me was no issue because he was the CEO of a company. My jaw almost hit the floor. I have my suspicions his momentary return to his folks' place had nothing to do with him falling on hard times, but was in fact part of a plot to expose their wrongdoing and bring them down once and for all. That's all just speculation on my part, though. The bottom line is I owe him a great deal, and I'll always be grateful for what he did for me. My only focus now is being the best mother I can be for my son. I'll never let anyone take him, no matter what. And I'm going to build a home full of warmth and love so he can flourish into the amazing person I know he is destined to be. Carly, I heard you were fast asleep on the sofa. What's going on? Did you make the preparations for dinner yet? You better have the ingredients ready like I asked. I'm sorry, Nellie. I've had the worst morning sickness lately. Today was my worst day yet. I made all the preparations for dinner, so you don't have to worry about that. I'll have it ready right away when it's time. Goodness me, Carly, do you think you're the first woman in history to get morning sickness? It's hardly a big deal. Did you really need to pass out on the sofa? Vince told me you were dead to the world. I feel really sluggish, too. I thought I was drinking enough water, but I think I might have some dehydration symptoms. Even when I'm lying down on the sofa doing nothing, I still feel like I could throw up at any moment. I feel like I'm in a state of constant discomfort and frustration. This sucks. Not that there's anything to throw up. I can't keep any food down and my appetite has completely vanished. To be honest with you, I have never felt worse. I'm struggling to move today. Strange. I never had any symptoms like that when I was pregnant with my Vince. Morning sickness is different from person to person. Some women don't get any, some feel like they're on death's door. Unfortunately, I know which end of the spectrum I'm on. What's the problem? Is there really any need to be this dramatic? It's only a little nausea, just endure it. In any case, I really don't think there was any need to go to sleep on the sofa. I hope you don't mind me saying this, dearie, but I don't think you expect enough of yourself sometimes, or how to put this? You're lazy. Yes, that's the word I was looking for. What? What is it, darling? Did you think I was going to be all soppy and sympathetic when you told me you were feeling under the weather? Then you've got another thing coming. I'm not the soft touch my son is, so it's about time you booked your ideas up and got serious. How are you going to look after your baby if you can't even look after this house? It's time to stop neglecting your duties and start acting like a real woman. I really don't think I'm neglecting anything. It looks like you're guilty of your fair share of neglect from where I'm standing, dearie. You know, it's because of women like you that us stay-at-home housewives get a bad name. People see you lazing around doing nothing, and they think we're all like that. Those of us who are good, upright, hard-working get our reputations dragged through the mud because of layabouts like you. Stop being so selfish. But I genuinely feel like crap, Nellie. I've barely felt human all day. No, scratch that, all week. It's so bad, I feel like I'm a second away from crying at any moment. Would you please just give me a break? I don't have the energy for this right now. Boo-hoo, so you feel a little under the weather, so what? It's just morning sickness, it's basically nothing. Toughen up and power on through it like a real woman. You know, back in my day, we got on with it and we didn't complain. Take me, for example. I went to work with a fever of 38 degrees on several occasions, and you know what? I still got the job done better than all the guys. You young people nowadays are such a delicate bunch of snowflakes, it's unreal. I bet your mom and dad spoiled you growing up, didn't they? Go on, admit it, it couldn't be more obvious. You've always had everything handed to you on a silver platter. I'm sorry. I'm probably a damn sight more tired than you with the day I've had, but do you hear me complaining? Nope, because unlike you, I'm tough. Make sure you're up and ready to do your job when I get home. Ah, that reminds me. I want you to run me a nice warm bath. See to it that it's ready by the time I get back. Don't forget my rubber ducky. A bath? Okay, got it. Are you on the train home now? Yes. I was fast asleep as soon as I got on and sat down. When I woke up after an hour, I felt as fresh as a daisy. It looks like the tiredness finally caught up with me. I worked damn hard today, if I do say so myself. Well done to you, miss. I'm surprised you actually went out that far. My jaw almost hit the floor when Vince told me how far away his grandma lived. How was everyone doing? They were doing great. You'll never guess what my husband's oldest brother is doing these days. He's running marathons as a hobby. Everyone in his family lives such vibrant, healthy lives. They all look half their actual ages. How about Gerald, your father-in-law? Was he young for his age? Vince told me that he was super active. He sounded like a real inspiration. That's right, he was. He was as vigorous and energetic as they come before he tragically passed away in the accident. It's such a shame he's not around anymore. I wish I could have met him at least once. My mother-in-law was her usual old self, too. She still makes an effort to dress up nicely. She's always had a thing for those traditional velvet dresses. I hope she doesn't get too hot in them. I don't know how she does it in this weather. It sounds like she always had a thing for fabrics. And didn't you tell me she worked as a sewing teacher when she was younger? That's right. One thing's for sure, I wouldn't want her teaching me. She's the strictest woman I've ever met. She had a face full of makeup on today, dolled up to the nines. I could have mistaken her for someone about 20 years younger, I tell you. I think Mildred looks incredible in those velvet dresses of hers. I've always admired her tasteful elegance and feminine charm. She has a certain aura about her that makes her really unique. What? Mildred? Why would you call her that? Why not just call her Granny Fletcher like everyone else? She's Vince's grandma, and that's what he calls her. Why can't you call her Granny Fletcher too? Somehow or other, calling her Granny kind of feels unnatural. She looks really young for her age. Besides, I'd be worried she'd get mad with me if I called her that. Fair enough. I suppose I get where you're coming from. She's as intense as they come. I used to be terrified of her. She was constantly telling me off when I was younger. I'm surprised to hear that. But unlike you, I was a good, dutiful, loyal wife, and I never slacked on my household duties. I didn't do anything to deserve the way she treated me. It was my mother-in-law who was in the wrong, not me. I always thought the way she used to flip out and pick fault with me over the most minor things was so petty. I see. She was only 18 when my husband and I got married. I was basically still a kid, so It was no surprise I was terrified of my mother-in-law. I felt so daunted every time we went over to see her. She always had a certain force of vigor about her. She's not the kind of woman you'd want to get on the wrong side of. Not that it's any different now. I still wouldn't want to rub her the wrong way. Sounds like you went through a tough time of it. Even to this day, she still finds things to complain about. There's always something. You know, people say you mellow out as you get older, but I feel like she's going the opposite way. To be honest, I'm sick to death of her. She was up to her usual old crap today. Did she say something? You bet she did. Witter, 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 whine, whine, whine. God, I could have told her to shut her face right then and there. There were talks of me and my husband moving in with her at one point. Boy, am I glad that never ended up happening. I guess I would have ended up murdering the old bag. I'm so relieved I only have to see her a few times a year for special occasions now. Sounds like you went through the mill today. Hopefully you can finally relax, unwind, and enjoy some you time when you get home. That's where you come in, dearie. See to it that my bath is ready pronto. Do not forget my rubber ducky. Yep, got it. Nellie, I can't believe you poured water over me like that. Why would you do something so horrible? Because I got home to find none of the housework done, and you fast asleep on the living room sofa, you darn heckin' slacker. How could I not lose my temper seeing you laid out there like a sloth? But I thought you said you wouldn't be home until the evening today. My plans changed. I had no idea you were going to show up. I'm sorry. Oh, I get it. So you think you get to neglect your duties just because I'm not around? I am sick and tired of your behavior, young lady. It's disgraceful that you'd rather spend your time sleeping than dropping me off and picking me up from my social events. Do you really think it's fair to make me use public transport at my age? Is this all one big joke to you? Is that it? Are you mocking me? No, it's not like that at all. I just couldn't get any sleep last night because I felt so sick. I was planning on getting around to the housework as soon as I'd had some rest, I swear. There we go with the morning sickness excuse again. Anyone would think you were laid up in a hospital bed with 2 weeks to live. Stop making excuses and accept reality for your disgraceful behavior, woman. But I genuinely feel awful. Maybe so, but you're still capable of moving. Ultimately, this comes down to a problem of attitude and a lack of commitment. The next time I catch you slacking on the housework, you'll be getting more than just a bucket of cold water poured over you. Oh my God. Please, won't you at least try to understand my circumstances? You're in no position to make requests of me, you lazy little cretin. I'm sorry, but I just don't see how you think pouring a bucket of cold water over me is justified or what it achieves. The sofa and carpet are soaking wet though now. Well, you better see to it that they get properly dried off then. On my own? Of course on your own, you insolent procrastinator. None of this would have happened if you weren't slacking on the housework in the first place. I'm going shopping. You better have this house sparkling clean by the time I get back. I mean it. Obviously, I don't just mean the living room either. I want the whole house from top to bottom, so clean I could eat my dinner off of it. The whole house? Use your brain, dearie. The floor's wet. This is your golden opportunity to scrub every square inch of carpet in the house. Why not try not being a useless sack of shit for once in your worthless life, you sluggish, slouching slacker? What the fudge do you think you're doing? You pregnant piece of crap! Where are you hiding to get out of doing housework this time? I won't tolerate this. The floor is still wet. Hurry up and finish cleaning it, or do you want me to pour another bucket of water all over you? Pouring a bucket of water over a pregnant woman? You wicked, ghastly woman. You just lost your son and daughter-in-law. Carly didn't deserve any of this. What have you been doing to her, that poor, poor girl? To think her and Vince agreed to move in with you to help out. Now you're not as mobile as you used to be, and this is how you repay them? Excuse me, who am I talking to? What are you talking about? I am not Carly. Huh? Well, who the hell are you then? Oh, I think you know me, darling. You see, you were at my house not too long ago. It's me, Mildred. Mildred? Thank you for visiting last month. We always appreciate you making the effort to travel such a long way. How are you messaging me from Carly's phone? Is my phone broken? Should I ring my data provider? This is definitely her number. I was just talking to her earlier today. I'm with Carly at the moment. You're despicable. Is it true you poured a bucket of water over her while she was trying to sleep off her morning sickness? I just couldn't stay quiet on the sidelines and watch when I heard how horribly you've been treating her. No way, like I'd ever do that. It was just a prank, just a harmless little prank, that's all. A prank? You call that a prank? Is that the kind of prank you pull on a heavily pregnant, sleep-deprived woman suffering from severe morning sickness? But she was slacking on the housework. She was fast asleep on the sofa when the house was a mess. On what planet is that acceptable behavior? I am well within my rights to be mad with her for lazing around when there's so much to do. I completely understand how Carly feels. I suffered with awful morning sickness myself when I was pregnant with my first. My mother-in-law was the kindest, most lovely woman you could ever hope to meet. So she was more than happy to let me rest, but it still wasn't pleasant. Unfortunately for Carly, her mother-in-law is an ignorant, uneducated moron and a control freak of the highest order. You never told me you suffered with morning sickness. This is the first I've heard of it. I hardly see any need to go announcing it to the world. You know, Nellie, morning sickness can be truly horrible. Constantly feeling like you could throw up at any moment is not a pleasant experience. Mildred, can I ask you something? Why are you with Carly? We spoke at dinner time today. I gave her a call because I wanted to hear her voice and find out how she was doing. I could tell as soon as she said hello that she wasn't her usual self. The desperation in her voice may as well have been a cry for help. When I asked her what was wrong, she burst into tears. There was obviously no way I was ever going to put the phone down without finding out what had her so stressed out, so I kept asking until, eventually, she told me you were bullying her. Bullying? Oh, that's crazy talk. I'd never bully a fly. Don't play dumb with me. What you've been doing to her is bullying, plain and simple. She told me everything. I was so livid that before I knew it, I was on the first train to her house. Carly came to meet me at the station. You didn't have to do that. Anyway, since when were you two even in contact? How did you get her number? You're right, she was the only member of the family who I wasn't in direct contact with. It still hasn't been that long since her and my grandson got married, after all. I got her number from Vince. My son? He had no idea about your vicious bullying campaign against his wife. She told me she kept him in the dark about it because she didn't want him to worry about her. She's such a sweet, selfless girl. The more I get to know her, the more I want to protect her from you. Mildred, please. Will you pass her the phone, please? I suppose. You better not say anything mean to her, though. I mean it. I want you on your best behavior. I won't, I promise. It's Carly. Carly? What are you doing? You didn't have to go blabbing to my mother-in-law about our private business. Do you know how much trouble you've caused her? I do feel kind of guilty. I had no idea she'd come to the house. Granny Fletcher's one of the kindest people I've ever met. Wait, what? Why are you calling her Granny Fletcher all of a sudden? Oh, I get it. You're cozying up to her so you can paint me as the villain, aren't you? Damn you, girl, I can read you like a book. Nope. She said that's what she wanted me to call her. I'm not trying to cozy up to her at all. I can't take this nonsense anymore. Just make damn sure you don't cause her any more trouble than you already have. Do not forget your position in this family, young lady. You're just some cheap floozy who was lucky enough to marry my son. Don't be getting ideas above your station. That's funny. Granny Fletcher said she thinks of me as her own granddaughter. No, you're nothing and nobody. You're only one step away from a stranger. That's where you're wrong. The only stranger here is you. What's that supposed to mean? Your mother-in-law just told you, or did you forget already? You don't have a son or daughter-in-law anymore. I saw her message, but I don't know what she meant. Stop being ambiguous and come out with it already. It means we're cutting you out of our lives once and for all. You're nothing but a stranger now. What in the devil's name am I reading? Who do you think you are? You don't get to decide that. What about what me and my son want? That's funny. I have no recollection of ignoring my husband. We discussed and decided on this together, as a couple. You mean my Vinciekins wanted to cut his own mother out of his life? Lies, he'd never do that. Exactly. To be honest, I'm not sure if I could have convinced him on my own. It's thanks to Granny Fletcher's persuasion that he finally came round to the idea. Now, after stopping and thinking about how much negativity you actually bring to our lives, he's fully on board. It's such a refreshing feeling to know that we're never going to have to deal with you and your bullshit again, Nellie. Excuse me, Mildred, are you still with Carly right now? Yes, she's resting. Are you with Vince, too? Yes, why? He arrived home after finishing work not long ago. You wouldn't have happened to have said anything to him, would you? Did you tell him he should cut me out of his life? I never told him he should do anything. What? So why is this happening? All I did was tell him to take good care of his wife. I told him that your wife should be the most important person in the whole world to you, and that the vows you take on your wedding day are to be honored for life. I told him that if anyone should ever try to hurt her, you should protect them with every last fiber of your being. Vince just called me. He said he doesn't think of me as his mother anymore. Oh, he did he? Well, that's great news. I'm so proud of what a mature, well-rounded young man he's become. No! Which part of this decision is mature or well-rounded? Ugh! Do you understand the gravity of the situation? He's abandoning me, his own mother. He's tossing me in the garbage like I'm a piece of dirt on the bottom of his shoe. You mean he's opposing his own mother to defend his wife's honor? That's one of the most touching things I've ever heard. I think I'm finally seeing Vince in a different light. That's my grandson, attaboy. I know you put them both up to this, I just know. Stop this, stop it now, please. Good grief, Nellie. I didn't put anyone up to anything. Carly and Vince are fully grown adults and they can make their own decisions. All this old dear did was give her young grandson and his wife a teeny-weeny little bit of advice, that's all. You're the ones who decided to get rid of you, not me. You have to admire their bravery in making such a drastic decision. This is just cruel. How could you do this to me? You accuse me of bullying, but that's what you're doing to me right now. How is it that I'm somehow the one being painted as the bad guy here? Bullying? Ridiculous. Have I done anything directly to you? Just because you didn't do it directly doesn't mean I'm not a victim. You guys are all ganging up on me and it's not fair. Face facts. No one did anything to you, so drop the victim complex, you pitiful excuse of a human being. The reason neither of them want anything to do with you anymore is because of your horrendous attitude towards your son's wife. Not to mention the fact you put your hands on her. What more reason do they need? You've got some nerve to be playing the victim. This is the most egregious case of daughter-in-law bullying there ever was. Unlike you, Mildred, I only have one child. My husband's gone, and without my Vince, I'm going to be completely alone in the world. How can you do this to me? If my son was still around, he'd have divorced you a long, long time ago, I'm sure of it. He'd probably feel like he was being punished for something if he had to spend his retirement with someone as wicked and black-hearted as you. Even the thought of you being buried in the same plot as him someday makes me feel sick to my core. Maybe I should pay to have him exhumed and reburied somewhere you can never find him. But what about me? What am I supposed to do when I die? Oh, don't worry, I'd only be moving my son. You can have the grave all to yourself. What's wrong with being buried on your own, Nellie? You seem so hell-bent on alienating everyone in your life. I didn't think you'd have any issue with being a pariah in death, too. Stop it! You have no right to go making decisions like that without my permission. Hi, it's Carly. Granny Fletcher says she's tired of you, so she gave me the phone back. We're going to be staying with her tonight. We won't be coming back to the house ever again. What? What do you mean you're staying with Mildred? Where? She booked us all into the Peepston Hotel. I'm chilling on the super deluxe double bed as we speak. These rooms are incredible. I can't get any rest with you around. A pregnant woman staying at the Peepston? You have no right to luxuries like that. Get your ass back to my house right now. That's none of your business. We're strangers now. Where we spend the night has absolutely nothing to do with you. What? So you've already cut me out of your lives? No, I won't go along with it. I won't. Whether you go along with it or not makes no difference. We'll do as we please, thank you very much. Is this all because I poured a bucket of water over you while you were asleep? Jeez, lighten up, woman. Please, as if. That's not why we want you out of our lives. Then what was it? Because I didn't take your morning sickness seriously? You can't actually be kicking me out of your lives over that. Not only that, but you went and turned my own mother-in-law against me. We just don't see eye to eye on a few things, that's all. Why make a mountain out of a molehill and create a big family drama? I can't take being with you a second longer, Nellie. You'll send me into an early grave from the never-ending stress and worry that inevitably comes along with having anything to do with you. I'm so tired. Even just messaging you like this is draining. That's why I want you out of my life with immediate effect. You can try and avoid me as much as you like. But we're family. You know we'll end up running into each other again sooner or later. Just because you three are sulking doesn't mean our relatives are suddenly going to stop holding family get-togethers. You don't need to worry about that. Granny Fletcher told me to tell you that you needn't bother showing up at family events from now on. You officially just got kicked out of your own family. You're a complete stranger to all of us now. How about you start making up for your bullying and try being nice to people for once in your life? You might never see any of us again, but there's nothing stopping you from turning over a new leaf. Shortly after severing all connections with my dreadful mother-in-law, who seemed to epitomize the concept of hell on earth, I joyously welcomed the arrival of a beautiful and robust baby boy into this world, bringing an abundance of happiness and contentment to my life. 6 months later, when little Jeremy was finally old enough to cope with traveling long distances, me and Vince started taking the arduous drive out to see Mildred every once in a while. She absolutely adores him, her affection knows no bounds, and she dotes on him more than anyone. As for my ex-mother-in-law, we haven't been anywhere near her since moving out of her house. We don't even see her at family get-togethers anymore because she's the only one who doesn't get invited. She's completely estranged from anyone after Mildred told the entire family what she did, advised them to stop associating with her, and forbade them from inviting her to family events under any circumstances. I heard through the grapevine that she can be found wandering around the neighborhood all on her own at night with a despair-stricken look on her face. Apparently, she aged about 10 years since we broke things off with her, and it was only a year ago. Somehow, even her neighbors found out about her bullying me, earning her the nickname of the Demon Hag locally. Word of her malevolent deeds spread like wildfire, captivating the attention of everyone in the town, leading to countless conversations and discussions revolving around her vile conduct. She's totally alone now. As the days turn into weeks and the weeks into months, her isolation intensifies, deepening the profound sense of loneliness that engulfs her very being, leaving her to navigate the vast expanse of solitude without a glimmer of hope for any meaningful human connection. I just hope I never run into her again.
Hey Stan, did I hear that you plan to move back to Mom's house and live together with her?
Yeah, that's right.
You need to make sure to talk to me about that first before making a decision. When I heard all of this from Mom, I was surprised, because her and I had already talked about a few things for her, which one of them is her leaving that house.
What's wrong with me wanting to live there with her? None of this is going to be causing you any troubles. And in your case, Ashley, my wife and I living with her would make you feel a lot better about Mom in her old age, right? You've always been the one to worry about everything, so I know you're worried about her in her old age.
Well, you have a good point, but by having you go and live with her, are you sure you won't be causing her any troubles? It's been a long time now since we've heard from you, and the last time you were around us, it wasn't the best time.
How old do you think I am now, Ashley? I'm much different from the man I was back then. And I have myself a wife now. So I think I can manage taking care of Mom for us.
Well, if Peyton is going to be living there too, then I guess things should be alright.
I can see that you still don't trust your older brother with anything, do you?
Well, come on. You just got up and left our family one day and never told us where you ran off. For the longest time. And when I thought you were coming back to us, you were only coming to say that you had got married. You've been out living the life of your own and messing around, so it really is difficult for me to trust you.
And I was much different back then, and I'm sorry about it. I was younger and only thought about myself and was thinking life would be better not being around any of you guys anymore. But now I'm a full-grown adult and have calmed down and learned that maybe I do still need my family.
Well, if that's the case, then that's great. But I had been talking with Mom about having her put into a retirement home, and she was on board with it. I think instead of us having to be around to care for her, she would rather be living on her own with a bunch of other people her age and the support of trained nurses. So that's why we've been saving up for her.
I think that can all wait a little bit longer. I made sure to tell Mom that I'm not going to cause her any sort of issues while living with her. And so that's why I'm doing my best to come back with Peyton and live together in Mom's house.
Huh? So you really have started to think about others than just yourself? I'm shocked.
I told you that I'm different now. I told her that I wanted to make up for all the troubles of the past by being with her now. So I think taking care of her for a while will be a good thing.
I think so, but I think that it might be a bit too tough for you having to care for someone else.
That's a bit harsh.
But having you with her will make me feel better. I'm not able to move any close to Mom right now due to my husband's job and all, and having to drive 3 hours to see Mom is just too much to do multiple times a week. Thank you, Stan.
Hearing you say thank you to me, well, it's putting me off my food.
You yourself are being a bit harsh now. Well, please take good care of Mom, okay? But if there's something you think I can help with, let me know. I'm sure you're all getting ready to head back to Mom's place now, but this might be a lot for Peyton to handle having to move in with her mother-in-law.
Why do you think it'll be difficult for her?
Well, having to move in with one's parents isn't something a lot of people want to do when they're married. I'm not saying that it'll be awful living with Mom or anything, but I feel that Peyton is the kind of woman that can work hard to care for others and tire herself out doing so. So I'm just saying that when you guys start to live at mom's, she might see that she doesn't like it that much and ask to move back out of there.
Well, if that happens, we'll be alright. Peyton is really excited to live in that huge house that mom has.
Well, if she's excited to live in the house, that's one thing, but you guys have to make sure to watch over mom a little bit as well. Mom is the kind of person that'll want to care for you guys a lot, but she needs to be cared for herself.
I know that. You're still just as annoying as you've always been about these things, Ashley. I'm kind of happy that you won't be at mom's house when we come to live there. I think compared to mom, Peyton will become much more distressed around you and your constant talking.
Oh, is that so? But if anything does happen, please let me know right away. My husband and I have talked about helping care for her more as well, so you don't have to feel as though you both have to do everything for her.
Sure, alright.
Please, and thank you, Stan. Stan, how are things going with you living with and caring for mom now?
You have been talking with mom a bunch still, so you already know.
Well, I heard from her that things are going fine there, but I just thought I'd ask you and get your perspective on it too.
You're such a pain in the butt.
Don't say things like that, okay? I'm just asking you this because I still worry a little.
If mom is telling you that things are going great here, then you should be happy with just that answer. How much longer are you going to doubt everything that happens around me?
This isn't me doubting you or anything. I've just felt that recently things between mom and I have become a little more distant feeling.
Is that right?
Before, her and I would always call and talk to one another for hours, but now she seems to be so busy with things that she never has time to call.
That's because she's going on a lot of trips and things like that to keep her busy.
Is that what it is? I was thinking that last week, when there was that 3-day weekend, I'd come out and see you all. But she told me she was going out for that weekend and told me to stay home.
Ever since we have started living with her, it's been easier for her to get out of the house for a bit and go places. And I think it's perfect that she's getting to enjoy herself.
Well, as long as her health is in good shape, that's okay. But last year, she did have a bit of a fall carrying some heavy bags. So even if she's having a lot of fun, she needs to take time off to recover every so often.
Why don't you go and tell her that yourself?
Well, even if I tell her, I won't be around to see if she really is listening to me or not.
That's a good point. Now that I think about it, Ashley, do you know the Malloy's grandkid?
You're talking about the Malloys that live in the same neighborhood as and are good friends of mom? If you're talking about their grandson, Geoff, then I know him. I think right now he's doing college, right?
Well, recently he's been coming to the house a lot. Always asking for mom to teach him more about gardening and all of that.
Is that so?
But having to see him all the time is getting to become a bother. And I don't really want him coming over anymore. And Peyton feels the same way as I do.
Oh, but I always thought that Geoff was a pretty nice boy.
He wouldn't be aiming to get closer to mom, would he? There are people like that who try and get close to the elderly so that they can steal from them, right? He might be onto her because she was living alone before and wants whatever she has.
He's not that kind of kid. He's not like you are, Stan.
What?
Geoff is a very sweet and loving boy.
Are there really people these days that are going to college and still have an interest in gardening?
Well, some people are into it as a hobby.
Well, I feel a little bit suspicious of him. He'll even come into the house from time to time and drink coffee or tea with mom.
What's wrong with that? It's probably a good thing for mom to talk to someone way younger than her. Good for her mental health, I think.
But I'm worried about her. Peyton's not even happy that he'll be coming into the house all the time and perhaps stealing some of our things. This is not normal for someone mom's age to allow.
Really? Well, Geoff is not the kind of boy to go around stealing from other people, especially not the elderly.
I'm just wondering if he's already started to steal from others already and has a collection of all their precious items. Tell Mom to stop letting him come over, okay?
Well, I listen to what Mom has to say about it first.
Mom seems to trust you the most, and hearing you telling her to stop will get her to turn him away. Letting things be with that Jeff guy is dangerous. Ashley, calm down and just listen to me.
Huh? What?
Well, for the past 3 days, I haven't been able to find Mom anywhere. I hadn't heard anything from you either, and so I was wondering if she had gone to see you?
Why did you not tell me something like that as soon as you noticed?
Well, at first I just thought she had gone out to be with friends or something. Hey, do you think we should call the police and let them know that she's gone missing?
I'm done with you. Mom is over here with me.
What? Then why did you never tell me about that when she arrived 3 days ago?
Well, that's because you should have been the one to contact me first about it, and I know now that she's gone and run away from both of you to get to me. I bet you were hoping she didn't come to me because you were afraid of what she might tell me.
Huh? What are you talking about? I have no idea what you or her could be talking about right now.
Stop screwing around. Ever since you and Peyton moved in with her, you've been using Mom like a slave. And you've even started to dig into her savings and using it on whatever you both like.
Well, about that. We're living with her now, so it's fair that she pays us to be there. And we have her doing some chores to keep her in motion so that she doesn't become sick. So, can you stop calling her a slave and acting like my wife and I aren't thieves?
I made the two of us dinner the moment she came over, and when she sat down to eat, she told me it's been so long now since the last time she'd eaten warm food with tears rolling down her cheek. Are you telling me that you both only had her eating cold leftovers and junk food? I think that you both made her cook your meals and wouldn't let her eat until you both had finished what she had made for you.
Huh? I would never do something like that to her.
Well, you're no longer going to be hurting Mom anymore. She's going to be living in my house now.
Are you telling me that you think taking Mom into your house is a good idea? I think giving her back to us is the best choice here.
I'm not giving her back to you two.
Thank God. She was totally getting in our way, so you're helping us out a ton. And Peyton was even saying that having her around made life so unbearable for her. And as for Mom's things, hurry up and grab all of them for me.
I promise that I'll be coming to get all her things as soon as possible, but you both have really messed up now.
Huh?
You had used up all of Mom's savings, and that's why you kicked her out of her own house? That was the whole reason you wanted to live with her in the first place?
What are you trying to say, brat? I told you just a moment ago that there was a fee to having me and Peyton living with her that I needed to collect. And when you say I kicked her out, it was actually her that left on her own.
And that's because both of you and Peyton were doing terrible things to her.
And I told you that we weren't doing anything wrong to her.
Well, if you had done nothing wrong to her, then she shouldn't have a reason to be crying all the time, right? She would have had no reason to just one day leave you guys without saying anything, right?
I think that Mom is just lying to you. Her and Peyton seem to never mix well, huh? Yet I still gave her what she needed and moved into her place with her. So stop trying to doubt all that I had done for her.
You're not going to tell me the truth, are you? I cannot believe that you would do something this low. Moving yourselves into her house without asking first, and then stealing all her money day after day? You would never let her eat anything freshly cooked, and you made her do all your chores? You and that Peyton are not human.
You stop talking down to her and I right now. You have no evidence, yet you keep going at me saying that I'm the bad one here. I bet this is all just because Mom is starting to have dementia. She's had symptoms of it for a while now, so I think it's getting closer to that time. I think tossing her into a mental ward would be the best thing for all of us. Hey, Ashley. Why are we being asked to move out of Mom's house?
You don't have to ask me the reasoning for that. It means exactly what's being asked.
Why do I have to leave the house that I was given to by Mom?
You were given that house by Mom. Did you go ahead and change the name on that house?
I didn't do that yet. I am the older sibling, though, and I moved into this house to care for Mom.
Well, Stan, that house is being sold, so you can no longer live in that house anymore. We have already talked to the realtor about all of this, and they're going ahead with selling the place.
Huh? Why are you doing all of that without my permission? I'm not leaving this house.
Well, that's fine too. But that house is going to be reformed quite a bit, and so there will be tons of contractors going in and out of it, tearing things down and putting things up for a while. And if you still haven't left after that, when the next person moves into the house, you can both be considered trespassers and be taken into custody.
Shut the hell up. Then where are Peyton and I supposed to go now?
I don't care. Go find a nice bridge or something to live under downtown.
Or how about you give me the money that you get from selling this house?
Oh?
That's what I deserve. And it could be considered what I get from Mom out of her will. I'll just be getting it in advance.
You're not getting anything from her, though.
And why not? I'm her freaking son. And even if she says that I can't get anything from her, then I'll find a way to sneak myself into that will. It's not hard, you idiot.
The only idiots here are you and Peyton, I'm afraid. Mom already went to the courthouse and had you removed from all of her paperwork and her will. So you aren't getting a single thing from Mom now, and you never can. Her lawyer will make sure of that.
She's removed me from everything?
Well, you took major advantage of her and her money, right? You never let her eat any decent food when living with her, and I've heard that you'd get so upset with her that you throw things at her head and threaten her. Someone like that loses every right to get anything from their parents when they choose to harm them so severely.
And I'm telling you that Mom's going off the deep end and doesn't know what she's doing. We didn't do anything to her. You both don't have any evidence of it, so the court and her lawyer can't do crap to me. I'm not going to stop now.
But what if we do have evidence? And that's why all of this has worked out.
Huh?
That neighborhood couple's grandson, Geoff, when he was around one day, he recorded you and your wife having a pretty heated conversation. And he also made sure to take some videos. And when you'd yell at Mom a bunch, he'd record you.
That jerk did all of that while over here? Doing anything he'd like while in a house he wasn't invited to? That's it. I'm gonna sue his butt.
Mom was the one that allowed him inside, so there's no problem with what he did. Also, stop trying to make this problem any bigger than it already is, okay? If you get out of that house and then proceed to never talk to Mom or I, and even Geoff ever again, then I'll be willing to let this all end without the two of you facing any harsher punishment.
Shut the hell up, Ashley. Are you trying to run my life right now?
I am, actually. I don't care what happens to you now that you'll be homeless. After thinking of all the things you've done to Mom, I think the two of you vanishing off the face of this planet would be marvelous.
Mom barely had anything in her savings account, Ashley. So I barely have anything to work with now.
I don't give a crap about the money that you've stolen from her. You taking money from Mom without ever giving her a good reason is why I don't care what happens to you. That's why you're no longer getting anything from Mom now. All to make sure that you never have a chance of getting anything else from Mom that she has no plans of giving you.
I have debts that I need to pay. And so I was thinking of selling this house and using the money to pay it off.
Well, that means that this was all going to happen to you eventually. So isn't it great that we're helping you get out of that house now?
Ashley, please. This is my only chance to change my ways. Get Mom to understand me and have her give me the rights to this house so that I can sell it and save myself.
I have no reason to say that I understand you right now. So don't ask me anything like that again. I'm being very serious when I say that I don't care about what happens to you guys.
What am I going to do, though? If I can't get enough money, I'll be going into a living hell.
That seems about right, Stan. You wouldn't be had you actually done what you had told me and moved in with Mom to help watch over her and care. But what you've really done is the same as robbing and assaulting her. You hurt her both physically and mentally and stole her money.
Ashley, you have some money, right? If I can't get anything from her, I'll get some from you. If you don't want me to come to your house and start screwing your life up, you hand me $50,000 right now.
That right there is you threatening me for money, right? Oh ho ho! You've been gone for so long now that you never got to know who my husband is. Stan, my husband is a sheriff. And on top of that, Geoff's parents are both working in the police force as well. I'm talking about his parents who live just down the street from Mom's house. So I think you might be better off leaving things be and not doing any more damage. Because if you do continue to try and hurt my family, the police will be on you in no time and you'll never ever see the light of the day ever again.
Ashley, I'm sorry. What I just said wasn't meant to be taken as a threat, rather a simple request. I'll give you back anything I have left from Mom's savings, but I'm your older brother and I really need your help, so just listen to me.
Now you're going to try and beg for money?
Stop saying that about me. I really am in huge trouble if I don't pay off that debt. Ashley, please help.
You're not my brother or even my family anymore. I'm not going to trust you again. The number one most dangerous person in this family isn't my mom, who's old, but a crazy brother who doesn't care about anyone but himself. From there, my brother and his wife left that house and ran away in a hurry. And a few months later, I received a call from him saying that he never was able to pay off his debt and things have really turned out for the worst. But I just ignored him and hung up the phone. And after that, I'm not really sure what happened to him and all, the money that he still had to pay. But I haven't gotten any more calls or texts from him since then, so it couldn't be good. And Mom already blocked all of his contact information on her phone, so really, I'm the only one he can reach out to. But not getting anything else from him is a real blessing, as it lets my mom and I have some peace of mind not thinking about what's happening to him right now. Right now, still, my mom is with my husband and I living in our house together. We had been in the talks with her before about having her move into a retirement home, and she was on board with that then. But now, after all that's happened to her and us, I think I'd rather she just spend her later years here with my husband and I in our home where I can see and care for her every day. My husband has even begun thinking about adding on an addition to the house where my mom can have her own room instead of having to use the makeshift room we have for now. My mom has done her best to forget about what had happened to her while having Stan and Peyton living with her and doesn't ever bring it up at all. I knew that something like this was going to happen with him coming back home to her, but I wanted to give him his last chance. I feel bad for doing that now to my mom, but luckily she had her friends in the neighborhood there to help her, especially that Geoff kid. It was because of him and how close he is to Mom that he knew just the right thing to do for her, and that was great evidence. And so because of all the help he had given us, I'm never going to forget how thankful I am that Geoff and my mom had stayed close friends. I may be her daughter, but during her time with Stan, I never did a good enough job watching over her, and so I feel really bad for that. So because of that very regret that I have, I'll make sure from now on to cater to any of my mom's needs and make sure she's the happiest woman around. And while caring for my mom, I'll make sure to never forget all the help I received from everyone around. And so, if any of them need anything from me, I'll be right there to give them all a hand.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.